My pictures outside, I love them. And that also goes for when you're videotaping as well. So most people look their best in sunlight, usually no higher than about 45 degrees above the horizon. When the sun is higher around the noon hour, it casts ugly shadows on faces, such as darkness around eye sockets and cheekbones and noses and chins and beards. Okay? Most exterior shots are made with the subject facing the sun or the sun behind the subject.
Sun versus subject.
Yep. So if you videotaping outside, make sure the timing, and then make sure the subject is either facing the sun or the sun is behind the subject. Both conditions cast strong shadows on your subject's face. Backlight and side light. Does anyone have any questions with the exterior lights?
What's the exterior lights?
The sunlight.
Outside light.
Two ways shadows cast by backlight and side lights can be filled in or brightened are through reflectors and field lights. Reflectors is anything which reflects light. It is a board covered with silver paint or foil or a white poster board, white wall, or canvas. And I know that a lot of you have seen those reflectors before, even with photographers, right? Those are, the silver boards, and when they have it held up, they're looking for, especially if it's outside, they're looking for light, or if you have your key lights or your field lights, in the ceiling, they're looking for the right light on the subject. So those are reflectors. Reflectors fill in shadow areas with bounced sunlight. Field lights. Any light can be used as a field light outside as long as it puts out daylight colored light with a color temperature of 5400 Kelvins.
Kelvin.
I know you're not going to ask what's a Kelvin.
Because the only Kevins I know is a human Kevin.
Kelvins. Okay, you need to read your text.
Oh, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that was even on your test that you just took.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One disadvantage to using a field light instead of a reflector is that you need electricity to power it from a battery, a portable generator, or an extension cord. The advantage to a field light is that unlike a reflector, it's not directly dependent on the sun. Field lights can be placed anywhere at any angle for maximum comfort of your subject. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Field lights also brighten up shadow areas regardless of where the sun is. Field light is the best way to brighten up the shadows cast by the noontime overhead sun. Interior lighting, and that's what we're going to be working on today. I don't know if we're going to shoot anything outside. The weather is warming up. Our class ends in May. We may not get around to it unless someone wants to write a script on something that's outside. Get around to that. Especially and then when we come, the sun is low, so we probably wouldn't want to do that. Okay. There are three basic types of interior lights. You have your focusing quartz, your broads, and your soft lights. The focusing quartz lights is the movie and TV version of the theoretical spotlight. It is the most common versatile light light to use. Users are able to control the intensity and pattern of light it puts out. Focusing port lights range from spot to flood lights, and you see that on page 74. You have your spotlight, you have your floodlight. A spotlight puts out small, concentrated areas of light, and a floodlight gives a spread out, less intense area of light. Focusing port lights do not put out smooth, even patterns of light at every setting. What? Quartz lights puts out a hard, direct light. This produces sharp-edged dark shadows. Quartz lights can be softened by diffusion materials in front of the light or by bouncing the light off a reflector-type surface. Raws are non-focusing lights designed to put out a broad, even light over a large area. They have no fine-tuning controls, and rods can be softened with diffusion materials or by bouncing. A rod type lamp is mounted facing the scope so that its light bounces off the curved surface and out towards the subject. Understand? Okay? Soft light. A soft light is a permanent, portable bounce light. It consists of a curved scope, the outside of which is white or silver color. The advantage of a soft light over a bounce light are convenience. It can be used anywhere with no need for a wall or ceiling to bounce off and control. It's easier to direct the light exactly where you want it. However, it does take up more space. Okay? Features. Most lights come with barn doors. Barn doors are little black flaps which are used to block off light from areas where you don't want it to shape the pattern of light you put out. Barn doors shape the pattern of light. Have you seen those type of lights?
I was talking about, yeah.
Okay. All of you seen those type of lights?
Nope.
The lights with the
I
barn
have
doors?
little doors on there, like a barn door that open outward and close in, and you can regulate the amount of light that flows in and out of them.
Now you remember? Have you ever seen a studio on TV or on YouTube where they have their lighting on poles and it's like a spotlight like you see here on page? You have your text.
Yeah, it's in my book.
I know your mother be on you, don't she?
Yeah.
I can see. Because it's right here on page 74. But then if you even if you've never been in the studio, you've seen them if you watch, on the YouTube, or if you just saw a production, or if you just, you watch the how to make a movie, or how movies are made, or
They got a show called How I Can Make a Movie.
oh shoot, YouTube. And then like I said, they used to have them on regular TV, where you can see how movies are made. Now you don't even need cable, but you probably have a cable now. I mean, even the reality shows. All the rappers, they have their reality shows. You haven't seen any of those spotlights?
Yeah, Self Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
I mean, Noah
And
Self
think
Flavor.
about just, because I know you just don't look at them, right? You look at the scenery, especially with you being, like I said, with you being in this field, concentrate now on behind the scenes, not just the subject or the artist.
Oh,
What they're